What's up, everybody? My name is Tiffany Hill Cook, and I run a spiritual practice called The Healing Hill. And if you have found me, thank you so much. I love you. My channel is all about love, resources, and helping people, myself included, remember who we are and discover our life's purpose. Today's video in particular is going to be 3 exercises that I practice that you absolutely can too, that will help you ground yourself in moments where your mind may be a little bit active or you just don't feel supported by life. Hang tight, I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. So I am going to share with you 3 practices, activities that I do that you absolutely can do as well to ground your energy. As Einstein said, everything is energy, and that's that. Everything is conscious as well. And sometimes we can forget that we are part of something greater. Sometimes the perception of our reality can become really heavy, or an experience that we're having can shift the foundation in which we were standing on and felt really comfortable on. There could also be a decision that you are being presented with currently that is heavy on your heart. You know the decision that needs to be made. The fear is still palpable. And albeit we can know consciously that the only thing that is real is love and that fear is not real, it doesn't take away from your experience or the truth of the energy that you are feeling. We have 7 chakras. Well, we have way more than 7 chakras within our body. We have a lot of energy centers in our body, but we have 7 primary chakras within the body. And I printed something prior to creating this video to add to the content of this video, because sometimes we can understand the essence of an activity, but to have more framework, more words, more language associated to our experience can also be really helpful. It's like, imagine that you are sick physically with some sort of ailment. You're going to know that you're sick, but the mind may want a title for the experience that you're having. And that's completely understandable. Not necessary, but completely understandable. So we have 7 chakras within the body. And I will start with the first chakra, which is our root chakra. And it sits at the base of the spine. It's normally correlated with the color red as well. And it provides the foundation on which we build our life, representing safety, representing security and stability. Imbalanced attributes would be scattered energies, anxiety, and fear. Second chakra, which is located just below the navel, and traditionally it is going to be represented by the color orange, is referred to as the sacral chakra. It represents creative and sexual energies. Imbalanced attributes would be lack of or repressed creativity, sexual dysfunction, withheld intimacy, and emotional isolation. Your third chakra, major chakra, is going to be your solar plexus. It is traditionally referred to as the color yellow, and it's located below the chest. It represents self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, and personal responsibility. Imbalanced attributes would be low self-esteem, control issues, manipulative tendencies, and misuse of power. Our fourth chakra is going to be the heart chakra. The color green is representative of this chakra. It's located in the center of the chest. It represents love, self-love, and governs our relationships. Imbalanced attributes would be depression, difficulty in relationships, and lack of self-discipline. Moving up, the throat chakra, normally the color blue. Located in the center of the neck, it represents the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. Imbalanced attributes would be shyness, being withdrawn, arrogance, and increased anxiety. The third eye, the sixth chakra, is located between the forehead, located at the center of the forehead and between the eyebrows. It represents intuition, foresight, and is driven by openness and imagination. Imbalanced attributes would be a lack of direction and a lack of clarity. And the color of that is normally purple. Lastly, we are up here at the crown chakra, which is located at the top of the head. It represents states of higher consciousness and divine connection. Imbalanced attributes would be cynicism, disregarding what is sacred, closed-mindedness, and a disconnection with spirit. And I just want to say thanks to Google. That's where I got this information. And the crown chakra is normally like a violet light color. Now, there is a reason that I went through all of these chakras, because myself included, you can take inventory on these chakras and what it feels like to be balanced and what it feels like to be out of balance. Because this next activity, this grounding activity that I'm going to do with you all, this is an opportunity to release those imbalances and call in light from source energy to manifest itself as alignment or balance within those chakras. So let's say, for example, what would be an example, Spirit? What could be an example? Okay, this is an example. Let's say you have this really yummy idea that you want to do. But the next thought or feeling that comes associated to that idea is, nobody would even show up for me. Who would even be there? Well, that would be an imbalance, particularly with that root chakra, your sacral as well, and then the solar plexus. It's going to be dealing with your self-esteem. It's going to be related to your repressed creativity. It's going to be related to your root chakra in association to safety, stability, and security, and just trusting that that energy is there. Just want to... Buttermilk! Sissy! This is one of the staff members here at the Healing Heel. She is most certainly a guide. She is most certainly a healer. All right, so if you are experiencing, or it could even be that you just want to do something, but you're not sure what that is. So that's just beautiful anyway, that you have some idea or some sort of energy and you're looking for an outlet. The other thing that I have experienced, whether it is meeting somebody or whether it is meeting somebody who has this energy, or it is the projection of someone else's dream and inner world onto my dream and world, is specifically in the spiritual realm, is sometimes you can meet individuals that are very spiritually connected and they have this high stream of consciousness, but in being in their energy, it almost feels flighty. And sometimes spirituality can get called, woo-woo. And what I have experienced in that moment is a lack of grounding in that consciousness to Earth, to the energy of Gaia. And which, again, you can make as many mistakes as you want. You aren't doing anything wrong. I just want to be really clear on that. But when you are in these different states, when things aren't necessarily integrated, it can feel a certain kind of way in your body. And that certain kind of way can be anxious, avoidant, withdrawn. Or it could be the other side where, you're really trying to engage with individuals, but the connections just aren't quite being made. So grounding yourself, I do it multiple times a day, just because it feels good to ground myself. Could be an exercise that would be helpful for you. So the first way that I have 3 ways that I'm going to share with you to ground yourself. Please share with me in the comments. There have got to be an infinite number of ways to ground yourself. So what resonates for you? You let me know, okay? So first way to ground yourself is get barefoot and go outside and stick your feet on the ground. Of course, being in dirt would be closer to earth, but if you've just got pavement, that's okay too. That is a man-made material, so the energy of that's going to be slightly different, but it is still close to the ground. So get outside, go outside, and be barefoot in nature. You don't need to necessarily do anything else than just go outside and be. And I would even in that moment imagine energy in the form of a bright light from your body going into the ground through your feet. You could even imagine it from the crown chakra, through the third eye, through the throat, into the heart, your solar sacral root. So, but go out and be barefoot, okay? The second practice that you could do, which takes a little bit more physicality, is movement outside. We had to be, or we got to be, every single thing on earth before we incarnated as a human. So when you think of the 4 elements, you are the 4 elements. You are earth, you are fire, you are wind, and you are water. And tapping into each one of those elements daily will bring you balance holistically as a human. So going out and walking is not only going to be a grounding experience, which we're going to connect with earth, but let's say you do it with someone else and it's a walking partner that you chat with. So now you're connecting earth from the fact that you're touching it. You're connecting air in the form of communication. And the third element there would be fire. You're generating energy. And depending on the depth of the conversation, you could also be tapping into water as well, which is going to be more of your emotional state. My birth chart is full of water. I mean, everything is in Cancer or Scorpio, and not everything. That's misrepresentation. But what's comfortable for me is to just sit on a couch with somebody or a group of people and just cry and talk about our feelings and let's heal. What happens if I just do that, though, is my energy levels go down. I may end up being sick somehow because there's other forces of energy in me that need to be expressed outside of simply water. So we've got putting our feet in the ground. We've got going for a walk in particular. And the last one that I would share that I do is going to be more of a metaphysical practice. And, those first two require you to go outside. Now, there's going to be times where you're not able to go outside and you don't feel grounded in the moment. You feel, for me, it is, let's say I had an experience with somebody. Here's a great example. It just happened today. There was a car behind me that, my God, I don't even think a feather could have fit between our bumpers. And my initial thought was, get the fuck off my ass, dude. Get the fuck back. And then I realized I'm sending out an energy to that individual, to the consciousness of that car, of conflict. And so immediately in that moment, I realized I've got to ground my energy. I'm allowing an outside factor, an outside force from me to influence my experience, and not in a positive way. And so I did this exercise. So the exercise is going to go as such. Again, like I said, we're going to be using our third eye in the form of imagination. And what I want you to do is imagine that you have a golden colander of light that is coming down through your crown, all the way down through your root chakra. So at the base of that tailbone, you've got golden light, and you're going to imagine that thing going straight into the crust of the earth. And not only to the 10 or 15 feet deep, but we're going to go to the center of earth. Okay? And at the center of earth is going to be a beautiful, bright blue ball of light. And what you're going to do with your golden thread coming from your root chakra that is now in the crust of the earth is you're going to imagine that golden stream of light wrapping itself around this beautiful, bright, unconditionally loving energy at the center of earth. And they are becoming intertwined. And as that's happening, you can surrender whatever experience in the form of energy that you're having that isn't benefiting you. You can quite literally breathe that anxiety or worry into the core of the earth. And the beautiful thing about that is Gaia will be able to transmute that energy for you. So you've grounded yourself to earth, and you're just feeling how that feels in the moment, the essence of that experience. those are 3 ways that I ground myself. Again, the first 2 are going to require you to go out and to physically be outside. But the third, you could do anywhere. You could do in an airport. I did it in a vehicle when I was driving earlier. The first, I don't know, let's say even like 20 times you do this, it's going to take some practice. If you've never done this before, stick with it. It will become second nature because you already know how to do all of these things. You know how to tap into the energy of these things. You're just remembering how to do it. Before I head off of this video, I just want you to know that, what do I want you to know? I want you to know that you're loved, that's for certain. I want you to know that you are special, that you are unique, that God doesn't make any junk. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are supported in any endeavor that you ever desire to do. You are needed. Sometimes people can say, you know, you are made for something great. And that almost feels future tense to me, like that something great is going to happen in the future. And we never arrive in the future. All we have is the power of now. And that is why the past doesn't matter either. Of course, it is a part of our story. It's a part of our consciousness, but it doesn't define you. You are greater than the sum of the bad things that you have done or that have happened to you. I promise you that. I ask if you benefited from this video at all that you give me a thumbs up. It's just a beautiful exchange of energy. I'm giving you something, and in return, again, if you benefited, please let me know. Please share with your experiences with me as well as others of how you ground. Maybe it's something, again, I don't know, water comes to my mind, and I get that water is a different element, but taking a shower can be a grounding experience as well. So I love you so very, very much. We'll see you next time.